So please put the camera down now, or I'll have my court officer confiscate it.
Your Honor, why are you yelling at me? The Supreme Court clearly states I can do that. Your own doorway says I can do that. You're doing it to me, and I checked with your clerk. And I'm also going to wonder what made you run out of the courtroom like that today. You were in such a haste.
Your Honor, I believe the court has before it a motion from Mr. Ingres.
I do. State versus John Ingres.
Second, ma'am.
Mr. Ingres, would you come forward, sir, and join
Are you
counsel?
saying that the trust you are administering is the John Ingres Trust?
Mr. Ingres, if you'd come up, sir, and stand beside Attorney David Al.
John Ingres is in the court. That's you, Judge, as trustee. You are John Ingres today, aren't you?
Attorney David Al.
Yes, sir.
Before we go any further, I need to know who you are.
I am
Clerk.
Judge Crocker, right here.
Thank you, clerk. Are you the CQV trustee who has appointed this judge as administrator and trustee of the constructive trust case number 458-2010-CR-01203?
Mr. Attorney David Al, your motion for competency evaluation is granted, and we will ensure that before Mr. David Al, before Attorney Ingres is back before the court, that we're sure that he understands the workings of the court.
Clerk, did you also appoint the prosecutor as executor of this constructive trust?
Mr. Ingres,
You are the
excuse
trustee,
me, Mr. Ingres,
and
Mr.
are you not the
Ingres.
executor?
Mr. Ingres.
I'm the beneficiary,
Well,
and I authorize you to handle the accounting and dissolve this constructive trust.
Mr. Ingres.
I now claim my
Mr.
body
Mr. Ingres, I will.
as I am collapsing the CQV trust,
Okay, we will take a brief
which you have
recess. At
charged,
which time we will resume with
as
the
there
hearing.
is no value in the trust. You have committed fraud on the court. Did you not create controversy?
Can you talk here?
Well, Mr. Ingres, it's personal to your case. I don't think you want to do that in public.
I'd like to bring a court reporter.
Mr. Ingres, I just want to let you know that the court is ordering you to speak to a state psychiatrist before this case goes
I don't
any
consent.
further. I'm afraid it's a court order.
I'm afraid I don't consent to the court order.
There are consequences when you don't consent to a court order.
There are consequences when a higher law is violated by pretend authorities.
Mr. Ingres, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Probably not best to have this conversation at this moment.
Would
Please
there
feel
be-
free to make an appointment to talk to me at my office.
You might think you know the history of the Revolutionary War, but here is something they will not teach you in U.S. Corp Department of Education schools. The Revolutionary War was a fraud. The United States did not actually declare independence from Great Britain or the King. America is a British colony. The King of England financed both sides of the Revolutionary War. The gold fringe on the U.S. flag in courtrooms symbolizes America being ruled by Great Britain under International Maritime Admiralty law. There are no judicial courts in America, and there have not been any courts or judges since 1789. The most powerful court in America is the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania. If you are of legal age and retain legal counsel in your defense, you are automatically assumed by the court to be a mentally incompetent ward of the court and can therefore be remanded indefinitely to any mental institution of the court's choosing. You cannot use the U.S. Constitution to defend yourself. The people does not include you and me. You own no property. We are slaves and own absolutely nothing, not even what we think are our children. Military dictator George Washington divided the state's estates into districts based upon the ritualistic practice of dissecting Masonic squares. Washington, D.C. was surveyed and engineered according to Masonic ritual and specification. Before 9/11 and Pearl Harbor, the Boston Tea Party was the first false flag. Now you have been informed of one of the great lies of your time. This is why it is important for everyone to help restore the constitutional republic, which you can do by sharing these videos with everyone that you can.